Hello and happy Friday, everybody. My name is Matt with Beacon Software, and in today's Feature Friday, we're talking about security. Security plays a critical role, whether it's on your end or on Beacon's end. So today we're going to look at a couple different ways that you can secure your system to protect yourself, and then we'll also quickly talk about what Beacon's doing to protect your data as well. All right. So we'll start with what Beacon does. You may have seen in our emails that we send out that we are SOC 2 compliant. What does that mean? All right, so basically SOC or SOC 2 stands for Service and Organization Controls. It's a series of standards designed to help measure how well a given service organization conducts and regulates its information. And it basically covers 5 areas: security, confidentiality, so the information that we're processing through the system, things like VIN numbers, addresses, things along those lines. Processing integrity, availability of the system, and then the privacy of personal information. So your data, your pricing, your accounts, things like that that are not shared with anybody, only your database. So that pretty much sums up what SOC 2 is. So when you see that, it's basically standards that Beacon has met to protect you. So what things can you do to protect your data? So we're going to jump into the settings side today. We'll look at a couple different sections, what you can do to protect on your user side and also your driver side. So let's go ahead and jump straight in. All right, so I have already logged in to your settings page, or into our settings page, I should say. So there is 3 different ways you can protect users. Drivers, or you also have a read-only access. We'll start with users on the left-hand side here. Now, you're only going to see this if you're a company administrator, and that means you have a little wrench next to your name here. So you do have some extra controls. We can set these for you. If you need additional company administrators, let us know. We make you fill out a quick form and we can make company administrators. We also have these little lock icons. Now what these mean are read-only profiles. So these people can get into the system depending on what access you give them. They can see what's going on. They can open up calls. They can run a couple of reports. They just can't save anything. So read-only access. And these don't count against your users in the system. So you could technically have as many read-only users as you want, right? But let's start with a company administrator. What things can a company administrator do? So a company administrator can delete accounts, drivers, pricing lists, and vehicles. And when you're talking about what you can see, the company administrator can see the users tab, the QuickBooks tab, which is under company, right up here. They could also see the division dropdown if you have multiple divisions, and some of the notification tabs within the accounts. So you basically have full access or full control over the entire system. Right? In addition to that, you can create additional user roles for your users. Now, the default ones you'll see are admin, supervisor, manager, dispatcher, and call taker. So when you click these, this is giving them access to certain items under that user role. Right? This section here is related to your security roles on the left-hand side here. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. Now this is our test database, so I may have things in different places. But what this allows you to do is either take certain items. So let's say I have let's say call taker. It allows, on my database, my call taker can close deposits. My call taker shouldn't be able to close deposits. So what I can say is, okay, this item is a manager function, and I can move it over here. Same thing with anything else. So modify commissions. You know, maybe that isn't an administrator role, maybe it's a supervisor. So I want to take that specific item and move it over here. Or, you know, modify finished calls is actually a dispatcher thing. I want to move that down here. So this allows you to control individual pieces depending on what what actions you want your users to control. So if I was only a call taker, I would only be able to do these things, right? So if I'm a call taker and a dispatcher, I can do both of these, and so on and so forth. So The way that these security roles work, they stack on top of each other, and it allows you to really dial in and control what you want people to do. All right. Again, these are just the defaults. So maybe you want another level of security. Well, that's simple enough. Here at the bottom, I have a little plus sign. I can add a new security level and call this test security. Make sure you hit the set button. So now I have a whole brand new level here where maybe this is going to be my impound. Maybe I have somebody that just does the impounds. They're not dispatching or anything else. Well, okay. I want this person to be able to, I don't know, let's say unrelease a vehicle, all right, and undo a payment. Let's just say I want to give that level of security. Well, I can move it down to this test security or really whatever you name it, save it. And now I can go back to my users. So let's pick here, Madeline here. And now I have a brand new level that I can give people. Just be careful if you're adding more security levels, that's fine. But anybody else that still needs full access, so like my company administrator here, I need to come in here and make sure that they have access as well. If you don't give them access, those items you put underneath that new level, that person won't be able to do anymore. So just be careful with that, but it does give you another level of security or items that you can really customize for what you want people to get into. All right. The second level of security that you can control is for your drivers. All right, so in the DA for drivers section here, a couple different things that you can set. We'll go through these really quickly. So enable QR scan assignment. Each truck in your account has a barcode associated with it. So if you want your drivers to scan into their trucks, this is what you can turn on for them to do that. Enable checklist. This allows your drivers to do a pre-trip inspection. You can come up with items again in the dictionary section here. Required GPS tracking. This is a great solution if you don't have a GPS solution. This will track the driver's cell phone. It requires that their GPS is turned on. So, and if it's not, then they won't be able to see the jobs. Each division or location also has some additional settings you can set here. So allow drivers to take payments. Allow drivers to edit services. Let me uncheck these and kind of go through these one at a time. Allow drivers to edit services. Allows your drivers to just add services. And if none of this other stuff is turned on, they won't be able to change any of the pricing. Maybe I want them to add services, and I also want them to see the pricing. Again, they can add the service, see the pricing, but they can't edit or change that pricing. You'd have to have this last option on here to allow drivers to edit the pricing. So depending on your company and what you want your drivers to do, you may not want them to edit pricing, but you may want them to just add services without seeing pricing. We have a solution for that. There's also an option here that allows your drivers to delete services, so you can turn that on if you wish. Any of this, whether it's them changing a price, deleting a service, anything like that, we do have a history tab on every single call. This will also tell you who changed what. So somebody can't just, randomly or on their own just change something without it being recorded. So it is always recorded on each one of those jobs. And you also have the create invoice screen that you should be checking over your calls as well to make sure just nothing seems out of the ordinary. That's all. We also have some security settings here to prompt driver for the photos, prompt drivers to capture signatures on the tow ticket, prompt driver for keys upon arrival to destination. So when they get to their destination and drop the vehicle, it's going to prompt them for who they're handing the keys to. And then you also have the option to allow your drivers to create jobs. This is great for private property, or if just drivers happen to be out, maybe find a stranded motorist and they want to start a job themselves. This is a great solution for that. If not, they can call it back into dispatch, and then dispatch could also add it at that point too. Right. These two settings down here at the bottom, driver edit history and driver view. Edit history just allows the driver how far back they can go and edit jobs. So if I want them, the ability to edit jobs for up to 3 days after they finish a call, that's what this setting will do. And then this will view driver view history. This is how far back they can see old calls. So if I only want them to see the last 7 days, I can do something like that. Just be careful because this is the last 7 or whatever value rolling days back. So today is Friday. This would let them see the past week, basically. Sometimes people want them to see a full week, so you may have to do something like 14 days. This is another solution, but it is a rolling week for the view history. The other small things you can do is under mobile fields. Now, a lot of this stuff you can typically keep the same, but there may be some reasons where you don't want the drivers to see the PO. Now, we can take this item and move it over to the left. We could also do something along the lines of amounts, or maybe I don't want them to see the member numbers, something along those lines. We can move those to the left column here, and everything in the left column they do not see. Anything in the right field they do see. Normally, the main things that people are changing here are amounts and service item amounts as well. So the amount here refers to the amount of the entire call. There's also one for service level amounts. We'll look at it here. Oh, these are all out of order. There's one that says service amounts. That's going to be each individual service. So the price of the tow, the price of the mileage, things like that. You may not want them to see that. So you can take that item and move it over to the left. And this is a way to hide pricing on the driver app. Right. Make sure you save any changes when you're done, and that will set your driver security. Right. So those are some little things you can do in your system to protect yourself, giving users certain levels of access, just enough to do their job, but not enough to cause any potential harm in the system. And that's pretty much all I had for the security settings in today's Feature Friday. If you do have any questions or additional comments, please leave them in the comment section below. You could also always email us at support@beaconsoftco.com. Support, you could always give us a call if you're having trouble with some of your security settings. We can help you just move things around, or if you want a little bit more explanation of what each one does, let us know. We can definitely help you with that. I hope you learned a little bit from this video today. Hopefully ways you can secure your system a little bit more. The only thing I'll leave off on is with your users. I've seen this a couple times. Make sure your users aren't being shared between people. Make sure everybody has their own login. You can create as many logins in the system as you wish. This gives accountability for each person because, like I said before, we do track what people do on that history tab. We don't recommend sharing logins with people. So, but again, if you have any questions, give us a call, email us, leave a comment below, and we will answer it as soon as possible. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and we will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.